It's a retinal purge. Looks worse before it gets better, but the better might be his replacement.
Oh, these. First off, these people are ruthless.
These are women. These are women.
I know what I'm saying. Ooh, chat. Y'all better be glad we don't speak another language for real, because y'all would just be out here. Oh, this is giving me an idea. I'm about to tell my friend group we about to come up with a whole other way to talk about men, so they don't understand.
Next one. Over 2 weeks.
First off, how is real time a month of Sundays?
Because it's been like in real time, like when we record, me and you haven't been together to record in a minute.
Curious.
Yeah, we haven't been to record since the middle of May.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
We haven't recorded at all.
We haven't recorded in June at all.
It's been your fault, so
how's it been?
Blame Yusuf in the building.
Watch
for why it is that we haven't recorded.
Yeah, so people hit us up and been like, hey, when's the show coming back? Really enjoy the show. Miss you guys. The DM's been popping, so that's been good. So we appreciate y'all for tapping in.
Folks been DMing us?
Yeah, just hey y'all. Hey, when is the new episode coming out?
That is exciting. People have been DMing us.
Yeah.
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, I get that. So we're going to make this as quick as we can.
Yeah, we don't have to rush it.
But you're sleepy? All right. So we're going to start off with our question of the week.
Oh, Lord.
And we asked just the ladies. Ladies only. This was their question.
Did you filter through these responses so we don't get the dissertations?
Yeah. These
No,
all
you
short.
didn't, Yusuf.
It's 10. I only plucked 10.
I just don't even believe you because I feel like you're lying. But go ahead.
Okay. The question is, describe your relationship using self-care terminology so men won't understand.
Oh, I'm curious to hear this.
Okay. It's giving exfoliating with a loofah made of red flags.
First off, some of these things I might not even understand. Okay.
All right. We're in our soft launch era, but he doesn't know it's actually pre-breakup shadow work.
Nah, I understood that one.
You understood that one?
I did understand that one.
You're going to have to translate for me because it sounds funny, but I really don't know what's going on.
Shit, they basically about to break up with their boyfriend. And, they don't know. So they're getting their ducks in a row.
Like doing a face mask over a breakout and pretending that's enough.
Oh, wow. Oh. I'll put it in terms that you would understand.
Like your response lets me know how deep it is.
Putting deodorant on and you didn't take a shower.
Oh.
That's basically what they just said.
Damn. Number 4, it's a retinal purge. Looks worse before it gets better, but the better might be his replacement.
Oh. These. First off, these people are ruthless.
These are women. These are women.
I know what I'm saying. Ooh, chat. Y'all better be glad we don't speak another language for real, because y'all would just be out here. Oh, this is giving me an idea. I'm about to tell my friend group we about to come up with a whole other way to talk about men, so they don't understand.
Next one, like putting crystals under your pillow, hoping he texts back.
Okay.
It's my villain era, but he thinks I'm just journaling.
What?
It's my villain era, but he thinks I'm just journaling.
Okay.
He's my before photo, and I'm already scheduling the after.
Oh.
I was so...
Oh my gosh, that is so mean. Have you ever seen somebody do a makeover before or after?
Yeah. I get it now. Number 9, it's giving group Reiki, but I'm only there to spiritually snatch his soul.
It's giving what?
Group Reiki,
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah, I think you have to be in the Reiki community to understand that one.
Yeah.
Number 10, we're doing a digital detox. I blocked him. Now that one I understood.
First off, that wasn't even mental health terms that no one would understand.
That one I understood. But yeah, man, keep tapping in on our
That was
threads.
funny.
That's off of our. I posted that one.
That
on
was
our,
a good one. That was a
on
good
our
one.
X. That was a good one. See, now I got to get with the men. I got to get with the men.
Okay, that's fine.
next.
But that was probably my favorite one. And let me read the men. See if I
Yeah,
can.
okay. I'm gonna post one for the men to answer. And definitely, if you still got answers to this one, make sure you tap in and send it. Matter of fact, put it in the comments right now. And
I like those. They were short, sweet, to the point.
they were
Good
short,
job,
sweet to the point.
ladies.
Yeah, ladies.
Good job.
But that's ladies. It's usually the men that be coming with the long-winded thing.
You know,
Well,
that needs to be a conversation.
no, not on stuff like this. Is usually short. Women are long-winded on the advice.
Oh yeah.
On the advice ones, those I got to filter. But today we're going to get into something everybody's been talking about for the last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. For the last 2 weeks, people have been talking about the movie Straw.
They have been talking about Straw.
Some people liked it. Some people hated it.
Dang, people hated it?
Yeah, I know some people who like genuinely was like, I dislike that movie.
And what did they dislike about it?
I think more so because it was Tyler Perry.
Y'all be hating on Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry out here cranking out these movies and making in his shows and making his money.
And, and getting sued.
I mean, who isn't getting sued at this point?
Yeah, but they actually got text messages. It's kind of, the text messages is kind of wild. You know, just a little bit. But I do think that some people do just dislike the movies. Like, if you dislike a person's work,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a teacher with a student.
Mm-hmm.
You try not to be biased.
Mm-hmm.
But if this kid done cuss you out and cuss your class a bunch of times.
They ain't got to do all that for me not to like them.
Yeah. But if they done all that, you're going to be more likely with that pen to find every missing period, comma, fragment, all of that you're going to find.
Going through all of
and
that.
you taking all the points off.
No, now we know how you do in your classroom, Yusuf. Thank you for letting us know.
No.
You treat your kids that you don't like.
No, I'm just saying, like, you go into it looking for something wrong rather than looking for what's good in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what some people are. That's where some people are with Tyler Perry's work. It's like they're in there looking for the bad part of it, or the acting is not good, or this wasn't good, or that. Don't analyze. I mean, just did you enjoy, like, when I like to watch a movie, I like to watch it for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes the acting can throw you off.
You know, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it can throw you off.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if the writing is good, then I can kind of deal with it. If the writing sucks and the acting sucks, if the acting is good but the writing sucks, like a good plot, I didn't think Tiana Taylor basically gave a good.
I mean, she could have definitely been better.
I think they could have cast someone else.
Yeah, I mean, she was like right there. It was just it was given a hair of trying too hard, but
Yeah, she was overacting a little bit.
yeah. But generally, when it comes to Tyler Perry, for me, I kind of stay away from his shows, and I don't really.
Oh, definitely not doing the show.
Yeah, I don't really do the Medea stuff anymore. But I will typically watch his movies at least once.
Mm-hmm.
And the last few ones that have come out have been okay. The what is it called? Mea Culpa.
Mea Culpa.
Mea Culpa.
Mm-hmm. That was all right. That was all right.
The what is it? Divorce in Black. What was it called?
Yeah, Divorce in Black.
Divorce in Black or whatever it was called. With Megan Good. You know, those were
Acrimony.
Well, yeah, Acrimony, but Acrimony was from a long time ago. I was talking about the ones that
like
are kind of recent. So his movies to me are a whole lot better than his shows, and the Medea stuff is just kind of played at this point. Like we're doing a lot with still doing the Medea stuff. But his shows are really where I can't get down because I have to have good acting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a TV show, yes, because you're kind of with the series or a sitcom, you kind of find yourself you're more tied to the characters than you are in a movie because it's a longevity thing. I'm going back from week to week to see what happens to this character.
Yeah.
In a movie, I'm going to sit down in this 2 hours and I'm going to find out what happened to them right there.
Because DeVal Ellis is actually one of my favorite people to kind of follow on Instagram and all this stuff. He's a genuinely funny person. But I watched 5 minutes of Sisters when it first came out and I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, I couldn't. Now the shows, I just can't do any of them.
They say that he's gotten better, but
nah, I'm good.
I'm like, nah,
I'm good.
I can't get down with it.
So first off, right now, turn this. If you have not seen the movie, turn this off because this is a complete spoiler. I'm not holding back. I'm not gonna leave anything
I
out.
hope I remember everything because my memory is terrible and you be going deep and stuff, and I've only watched it like one time. But okay,
I've only watched it once.
But your memory is better than mine.
Yeah, and then of course there's the internet. So,
yes, there is that.
But if you haven't watched it and you can't, I'm a person where I could listen to you talk about something. You could tell me the plot. You could tell me what happens in the end, and I'm still go watch it. It don't bother me none. I'm gonna go watch it regardless.
Yeah, I'm not that person.
But for most of you, you are not. So cut it off now. Cut the podcast off if you're listening in your car. If you are on YouTube right now, cut it.
You need to cut it.
But go ahead, cut it off now so that we don't spoil it for you. Because if you have not watched it and we do spoil it for you, I do believe that the ending will definitely
ruin it.
It would definitely ruin the way you watch the movie. It's going to ruin everything.
1,000%. Because I did watch a portion of it for a second time because I watched the first time by myself and I watched it a little bit with my mom the second time. I fell asleep on it the second time, and it definitely changes the way. Like you can't be as dialed in because it's like
because you know her mind frame, you know her mindset in that moment, and it's like because the first it caught me.
Yeah, it caught me off guard too. I was like,
wait a minute,
what? Did I just interpret what? Because it was one of those things where you kind of start second guessing whether or not you missed something along the way because it felt like it was a plot twist that kind of didn't make sense.
Yeah.
How you have plot twists sometimes and you're like, oh, snap, that's why that happened and then that's why that happened. I didn't really get that.
Well, in the if you watch, so people that are still watching, you watched it already. So you know where we at.
Or you don't care.
One
of the two.
So my thing was in the mindset of her, I think I connected. Before I get to that question, I'm gonna ask you this question. Mm-hmm. Did the movie tug at your heartstrings any? Like, did it make you? Oh yeah. Did it make you almost get to the tears, or did you get to the tears?
Oh no, I didn't get to tears.
Did one drop and then eyes water up?
No. It really. So here's the thing with me in Tyler Perry movies. So I really appreciate that Tyler Perry is always trying to spotlight the Black experience, specifically the Black woman experience. And I know that he's very intentional about wanting to do that. It just always feels like a lot. And I'm not saying that I know that people's lives are hard. I know that, folks can experience a lot in a very short amount of time. But this movie was 24 hours.
It was one day.
It was.
No, it wasn't even 24
you're
hours.
Right, you're right. It wasn't even.
It was 12 hours.
It wasn't even a whole day. So within the span of a day, well, I would say 24 hours because it started with her losing her daughter the night before.
Yeah, but as we're watching it, you're watching. She can't get a paycheck.
Yeah, not even that. This daughter is sick.
Chronically sick.
Chronically sick, and so
and then they teasing her at school.
And she don't have the lunch money.
Because she don't have the lunch money.
Yes, this is how we started.
It's $40.
It's $40.
And first off, even if the child had not had passed on, I don't want to school and smack that teacher. You hear me?
I'm sorry.
So you really
in
gonna
your face?
You're really gonna withhold me, my child, and allow her to get teased because I cannot afford
First off,
to
you're not
give
allowing
lunch.
her to get teased. You're the one that's teasing her.
Yeah, but
The teacher is the one that's teasing her. Like, oh, she would have had to see me
right there.
parking this car and give me your hand, baby, because we walking in here together.
Yes. And I'm sitting, yes.
And I have questions that need answers.
No. See, I'm a little bit different. I'm a little petty. I would come in there and say, hey, I want to monitor. You can visit the class. And I don't have, and I'm not bringing this $40.
And I got time today.
I got time today.
Today I have time.
And what I want you to do is not give my child that lunch. Don't give my baby her lunch today. While I'm sitting here, don't give her lunch.
But she was getting lunch. She just was getting the free lunch.
No, whatever it is my baby want. If you was holding her up for this $40 a week, do it today. I'm about to lose my house. My damn boss is an asshole. I want to kill him. Goddamn, I'm gonna give you my check.
But listen, this hasn't even started yet.
Yes, I'm saying. Like,
this is just the
first morning time when I drop her off.
We choosing violence
early.
From a rip, we starting out here.
Because like, because to me, as a educator,
1,000%.
I've never gone into any situation and said I am not giving this kid.
Or make you feel less than because.
Or making a kid feel less than because.
Of circumstances they can't even control.
That a child, what was she, like 7 or 8?
It doesn't matter if she was 10 or 12.
Or even 15, because I've had kids, I teach high school, Fraronda did as well. We've had kids a multiplicity of times who so broke they can't afford free lunch.
Yep. And the number of times we fed kids.
And please, don't even get me started there. I got so many children. That's not biological.
I ain't collecting no more.
Yeah, I can't.
Y'all miss me. I don't need no more kids. I'm good.
Coach E, can I come live with you? I'm never doing that again.
You did have a halfway house or what's the other term?
Group home.
Yes. You had a group home. You was just out here collecting children.
It was Chris, Peter, Eric, God bless him and his family. God bless, R.I.P. Eric, and then his little brother. And it was me.
The thing is, you was enrolling these kids in school. Like you were taking on full responsibility for other people's children. Yeah,
so I know what it's like because those kids, they wanted a better opportunity than what they were having in their home. And I knew what it's like growing up in a situation where I didn't necessarily not have, but I know when there's something else out there, you end up going down a road you don't want to go down because the streets are always waiting on you.
Oh, 1,000%.
And I felt like what my charge was, because I had gone down the path I had gone down, my charge was to help those kids. So when I'm watching this movie and I'm looking at this teacher at the time, we don't know what has happened, but this teacher is like to the point where my baby come home and I feel bad that I don't have this $40. No, I got time today, man.
Got time.
I have nothing but time for you and this $40. Matter of fact,
park in the car.
Matter of fact, you're gonna pay her $40 today.
Listen, that's what I was thinking.
You're
so concerned about it.
Since it's you, yeah,
it's coming out of your check.
Out your pocket, purse now.
Deduct.
And so she drops her daughter off. She kind of goes and she says, "Hey, I got to go to work. I got to get my check." So that I can bring this $40.
As soon as she walks through the doors at that job.
What's his
First
name?
off, I have never seen Sergeant whatever his face be mean before.
Was that?
That's a dude from a different world.
That's also, let's go way back. That's Preach now. Glenn Turman.
I have never seen him play somebody mean.
Man, listen, let me tell you something. Man can act.
He can.
He was on her ass.
Like, oh my gosh.
He was on her.
Not what was his name? Colonel whatever from
Colonel Taylor.
Colonel Taylor. Not Colonel Taylor out here being mean.
He was on her.
I said, oh my gosh.
Like he was like, and he told her she had like 30 minutes. The daughter school don't call. She got 30 minutes to go
get there and come back.
And come back.
Colonel Taylor was out here dropping the F-bomb. I said, Colonel Taylor can cuss? Like, I was just...
Well, if you saw him in what it was, what's the movie he was in? He played the character Preach. It's a 1970s movie.
Oh, yeah.
Coolie High.
Oh, I hadn't seen that in so long.
Yeah, Preach and Cochise. If you watch him, he does some cursing in that.
Back and
then he also was a pimp in a movie.
He was a pimp?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh my gosh, my whole soul is being snatched right now. Colonel
Glenn
Taylor,
Turman
how
movies.
could you?
Oh Lord, what's it? Come on.
Let me find out Colonel Taylor got dipped.
Yeah, I'm a drop because I got it on. Matter of fact, I'm a just go. I got it on my phone because it's a funny scene where this dude he has sex with somebody's wife, and the dude come home. And dude start talking trash and he whip out his razor blade. What you talking about now, nigga?
Oh my. Yeah, see, I don't know none of his earlier stuff.
Yeah, it's funny, but he great actor. Did a great job with the role.
But yeah, so that was step 2 in her journey.
That was step 2 in her journey.
Of 24 hours.
School calls. She goes.
Mm-hmm. Her kid gets taken away.
From
the school, so that means, and she thinks that the not
teacher.
thinks, but she knows that. I don't think that was the teacher. I think that was the principal.
You think that was the principal?
Yes, I think that was the principal. Called child services because
they said she was dirty.
She was dirty, and she always came to school hungry.
Yeah,
which take half of these kids if that's what we're going off of.
Yes, half, all.
Not all the kids not dirty and hungry now.
I'm sorry.
that is just not an accurate statement.
But no, it's to the point where, they say you're supposed to report things. You got to be, as teachers, we're mandated reporters.
Yeah.
But it's abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And from knowing her, the teacher and the principal, everybody at school should have known that was not the case.
Mm-hmm.
She was not abusing her child. Her child has seizures.
Mm-hmm.
That child has seizures, asthma. If it was an infliction, she had it. And what?
Yusuf, carry on.
So it's killing me. I cannot remember this movie, but she ends up losing her because
this is all the morning. We're still in the afternoon yet.
This woman ain't been at work clocked in for 45 minutes yet. This woman didn't clock in for work 45 minutes yet.
And she still didn't come there with his $40. Because we ain't talking about how she tried to go to the bank.
Yeah, no, wait. She ain't got to the bank yet.
Yes, she went to the bank before she went to the school.
Because she was trying to
get the $40.
In advance.
No, she was trying to get the $40 out of the bank, but they wouldn't let her get the money because
she didn't. No,
she only had like $47 and some amount of cent. And
I must have missed that part.
Our girl Sherry was like, if you take that $40 out, then it's going to close your bank account.
Yeah.
Then she went to the school to discover that her child was
going to be taken.
And still didn't have the $40. So then she leaves the school to go back to work. It's pouring down rain outside. She gets in a car accident. Yusuf, you can't find it. It's fine.
JD's Revenge.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that. I ain't never even heard of that.
I think that's it.
Focus.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You focusing on the wrong stuff.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
No, okay.
Straw.
Got you. All right.
She left the school.
Mm.
When she left the school, it's pouring down rain.
Yes, and then she goes and gets in the car.
She gets in the car. She gets in a car accident.
That wasn't her fault.
The car accident was her fault.
I don't think it was her fault.
That car accident was her fault originally because she was trying to go around because she was trying to get back to work.
Yeah.
And she hit old dude.
The cop.
And then he went berserk. And then he spun her out.
Yeah.
So he hit her again.
That's right. And
Because
then
he was like, I got time today.
And then went to get her locked up.
Baby ain't even have her license. Her license registration was expired. Like, I just so no wonder your straw about to break a camel's back. Like,
Yes.
ma'am.
So okay, see, I didn't see it. You said I didn't see the name straw as symbolizing the straw broke the camel's back. I saw straw as symbolizing the last straw.
Same thing.
I mean, you know,
Yeah,
potato.
Yes.
But
I'm saying like that's the beauty of English. And also like, yes, English as a language, but also English as a subject is that you can get multiple meanings out of
multiple
one thing.
analyzations out of it. Yeah. Analytical perspectives.
Yes. And so
you can tell we went to school for it.
I mean, just okay. Now that we've nerded out there,
Yes.
We can go on back.
Yeah.
So she gets back to the what you call it finally, the job.
Get back to the job to find out.
Once she find out, Yusuf?
She has been fired.
Because how long has it been? It's been an hour instead of 30 minutes. And so saw her across the street at the bank.
At the bank.
And snitched on her.
Yes. She did not go straight to school. She went to the bank.
I said, who need friends if you got enemies?
Then, no, wait, before that, she goes home.
I thought she went home. She went home after she got fired.
Right. After she got fired, she goes home. And all her stuff is outside.
All her stuff is outside in the rain.
And the landlord asked her, well, do you have my money? She said, my stuff is outside, but do you have my money? Well, they didn't give me my check. See, I knew you weren't gonna have your check, so I went ahead and put your stuff outside. I knew you weren't gonna have my money.
Oh, he wouldn't give her check because if you know anything about how things work, then you would know that your last check is mailed.
But
it's sitting on his desk.
You got it right there in the back.
And he knows this lady need this money.
And really, all she wanted was $40.
$40. That's it.
Like
and her rent. She didn't want her rent.
She didn't want her rent.
She wanted her rent and her $40. She wasn't asking for a lot. She
She just wanted her rent and $40. That man literally could have gave her $40 out of the thing.
Not the cash register.
Out of the cash register. Could have gave it to her out the cash register. Then her stuff's outside. She picks up the baby science project.
Oh my
and puts it in the book bag.
This dang on science project.
She goes back.
And the medicine. She did put some of her medicine there. This
goes
clear
back,
book bag.
Goes back to the job and is like, you know what? I need this money. This
is really when things decline.
She sound like old girl off of Set It Off. I need this money.
Don't do my girl. What was her name? Don't do her like that. Even though that is what she got on my nerves. Like, I would have dropped her. She wouldn't have been my friend.
I need this money.
You the reason why we all about to be in jail. Talking about you need some money.
But yeah, she ran. I remember watching that movie in the movie theater. Boy, the whole damn movie theater cried when she ran off.
First off, ran off, but then ran into the bank all day. Like, what are you doing? What is happening right now? Either you're in or you're out. Choose a side.
Choose a side.
Choose a freaking side.
Oh,
and
man.
Stay there.
But she goes back to the job. She's like, look, can I please get my check? Only to find out.
Oh my God.
When she walks in
I might shed a tear today. Like, talking about it might be a little bit different than watching it. Because watching it, I just was so perturbed. I was like, nothing else could potentially. Like, it couldn't possibly get any worse.
It couldn't get any worse.
And the moment you think it can't get no worse is when it gets worse.
She goes into the office.
It's about to get worse, people.
Can I get my check?
Can I get my check? They're sitting right here.
You can
I can see my name.
I already told you.
Let me point it out for you. This is my check. It has my name on it.
That man slid that shit back.
He did. Oh, Colonel Taylor.
And she goes ahead. Please, sir, I need this check. You don't understand. I don't have to understand he's being an asshole. Only to find
Dropping
out.
all the F-bombs. I said, Colonel Taylor, now you ain't got to say not another F word ever.
And just when you thought
Just when you thought.
it couldn't get no worse, somebody walks in to rob the
Who
damn
robs a grocery store?
in the middle of the day.
Who robs a dang home grocery store?
Once again,
There's a bank right across the street, Yusuf. You do remember this, right? There's a freaking bank right across the street. It ain't far. They came to rob the grocery store. Carry on.
what you doing back here? What the fuck you mean? Excuse my language.
That's what he said.
What you doing back here?
He cussing out the folks about to come and take your money.
Then, at this point, I think that's when she just had enough. She was like, y'all can take whatever you want.
I just gave him my
Please,
check.
I just want my check. Just can I please have my check? Now, here's where I think Tyler Perry took a turn. Oh, TP3.
With this book bag.
Not only the book bag, you fight the man with the gun.
But she was fighting it over this book bag. Because he wanted to take the book bag so he could put the money in it. The book bag had the baby science project in it. She refused to give up this book bag with the science project in it. I'd be like, oh, well, can I just have the science project out and then you just take the book bag?
Science project and my check. I want nothing else but the science project.
Because she had
and
given her last for them batteries in that science project. We didn't say that part, but that's what she told the baby.
Fights the boy, wins, and shoots him.
Shoots him. Other boy runs.
Then
Oh, Colonel Taylor.
Colonel Taylor got it.
Well, first off, Colonel Taylor proceeds to blame her for setting it up.
Yes.
They're about to try to take me out, so you stood here.
And the only reason they said my name was because I had on my name tag.
Name tag, biggest day. Oh, you set this up. You set me up. You said, oh, I'm calling the police on you. Colonel Taylor, what?
Now you got to die. Jaleesa Vincent Taylor didn't kill you. I did. You ain't going home to Jaleesa today.
You are getting taken out. Not you know Jaleesa's whole name.
Jaleesa Vincent
I
Taylor.
love this for Jaleesa. Okay. Jaleesa Vincent Taylor. That is definitely her name. Okay, so yep.
And then
Colonel Taylor is now unalived.
And then she commences to not take any of the money.
Just her check.
Just-
That's all she wanted.
Just her check.
First off, if she would have gotten the money in cash, then she wouldn't even have to go across the street to the
She
bank.
wouldn't have needed her check.
Like, you didn't even have to take all the cash. If that was what you wanted to do, there was definitely cash in that safe.
She could have just took the $40.
She stressed me out.
And
Okay?
went back to the school.
She stressed me the heck out.
Because
and take your rent. Take your rent.
That was the question I asked. I was like, well, shit, you're already in trouble. You might as well just take the cash. Because
Cash your own check.
I didn't know she was going to go across the street. I know she's going to go across the street and try to cash her check.
Oh, Lord. She could have cashed her own check. She could have cashed her own check, people. But she went across the street
So she ends up going across the street,
to this bank for the second time.
gives them the check. She doesn't have any ID, so they can't cash the check.
Because she got her ID taken because her license and registration was expired when she got in this car accident where the white man tried to take her life.
Now, do you believe that the teller was wrong for not cashing her check?
You know, I don't know.
No, I don't. The woman was doing her job.
She honestly was doing her job.
And
so,
she doesn't know, she doesn't have the precursor of knowing everything else that had happened to her.
Yes.
So I feel like now it got to a point where she does find out and she still acts like an ass. But then
initially, you can't blame folks for
doing their job.
Right. Because you're under the same scrutiny, like we'll both be without a job.
But you already don't have one apparently.
And my stuff not getting put outside in the rain. Like, no.
Not for you.
No.
Not for somebody I don't know. If I get fired, it's gonna be something I do myself.
Exactly.
to benefit me.
Exactly. So I guess I can get with the fact that I mean she was a butthole.
Oh no, she completely.
But I understand why she
and then
couldn't do it.
She commences to push the check with the same gun
First off,
and can't understand why this woman is giving her all the
gun
money.
has blood on it. And the lady's
The
like, oh
check
my
has
God.
blood on
I
it.
mean, that's what I meant to say. The check has blood on it. She's like, oh my gosh, did your child get into it? Is this ketchup? No, ma'am. That ain't ketchup. That ain't ketchup, sis. But okay, go off. Like, if you knew what we knew.
She gives her all this money and she's like, look, all
I want you
all
to
my
do
$500.
is cash this
$500 check. Please, can I just have that? And I'll be gone.
And they actually made their lives harder in this robbery. Like, they made it escalate. And you kind of, I mean, it's not that you don't get it because it's fight, flight, or freeze, right?
Yeah.
There's another one now. What's the other? It's dang. Somebody said it the other day, and I was like, oh,
Frown.
who?
Fawn.
What?
Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
I don't remember it being no fawn. What is
The four
fawn?
instinctive stress responses triggered by perceived threats. Fight, the response involves confronting the threat. Flight, the response involves escaping or avoiding. Freeze, this response involves becoming immobilized. And fawn, this response involves attempting to appease or placate the threat, often through people-pleasing behaviors to avoid conflict or harm.
And that's what they were doing. That's what she was doing. She was in the fawn mode where she was trying to give her what she thought that she would want in this situation.
Because
but
she thought she was robbing the bank.
Right. Not actually hearing
what she's saying. Because all she saw was the gun.
That's it.
She didn't see nothing else but this gun.
And so after that, like, all other senses just completely shut down. And I don't necessarily blame, because I don't know what I would have done in that situation. You know, I'm out here just trying to do my job. But
no, I know she's only asking for the money in her check.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. You could count your 500.
Count however much you want, and then just push it on back.
And you can leave the rest on the counter. Me personally, I'm gonna go hide underneath here. I'm gonna be under here.
Not me personally.
If you need me, I'm under here.
Try not to need me though.
And you have seen the Homer Simpson thing sliding into the bush. That'd have been me going underneath the counter.
I have given you more than enough.
For you to make a decision about what it is you need.
Oh, God.
And then they thought that the thing was a bomb. And
that bank situation was a lot.
Yeah. And then we end up coming to find out that her daughter's actually died. And because she tells the bank manager that she felt last night like something in her cracked when her daughter was sick at the hospital. And so apparently it was her mental state.
Yes, because she asked the bank manager, she asked Sherry Shepherd, to take her daughter, because at this point she knows that she's going to jail. But she's also like super paranoid, which, I mean, she has every right to be, because the white cop threatened her. And she's like, I'm not coming out there unless the white cop is gone. And so that's what actually prolonged things, is because nobody was listening at what it is. Like, they weren't taking what she was saying at face value. They were trying to make it a deeper thing and put her in a category of a criminal than just simply hear what I'm saying to you. Like, my demands are real simple. I ain't asking for no helicopter. Like, whatever these other folks might do that's over the top. I'm not doing that.
I just want my check cash.
I want my check cash.
So I can pay my rent and it's $40
once
to
this
my child.
escalated, all I want you to do is make sure that the white cop that threatened to take my life is not out there.
It's not out there.
That's it.
Yeah,
I'll do whatever y'all want me to do from there.
Do you think that on a greater scale, I think the movie highlighted a few things. What happens when a strong black woman cracks? Do you think that this covered the stereotype of, you know, what's the danger of being a strong black woman in today's society?
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that I have learned in my adult years is the very, very, very thin line between sanity and insanity. Like, the mind is the most powerful and fragile tool in your body. Like, within a flip of a switch,
It could be gone. It could be
a completely different state that you're in. and be labeled as the strong person. The, oh my gosh, I didn't ever think that this would be.
That the person would do this.
Yeah. But right circumstances, right situation, right combination of all the things, and it's lights out, or it's, just a completely different iteration of a person. So I do think that it is the danger, and it's one of the lessons that I've tried to be so intentional about actually learning and applying as a Black woman as I've gotten older, because I internalize things. I'm one of those people where if I'm going through something, I'm not necessarily the person that's going to volunteer the information or go seek somebody out to, kind of
ask for help. So to speak.
You lay everything down and all that stuff. But once I started going to therapy, I saw how detrimental operating in that way in the name of, being strong and saving other people and making sure that I'm not being a burden to anybody. The danger of that.
And I also feel like I think a lot of women struggle with dealing with trauma. And I think this kind of showed, and I had this in my notes here, the question is, how do societal expectations shape how women, especially mothers, cope with trauma? Because of the expectation of you have to be the strong Black woman, but you done went through this, went through something tragic.
Yep.
And you're still expected.
Yep.
After finding out that her child,
nobody intervened.
I'm going back and thinking,
nobody.
That means her boss knew that her child was dead.
That means her mother
means her mother knew.
And let her go home alone.
That her child was dead. That means her landlord knew that her child was dead. Like, all of these people knew that her child had passed on.
And they watched her do crazy stuff. And even the principal teacher, whoever it is that she was, that was the only indication where it was like, oh, okay, maybe something was off, because she was looking at her real funny when she dropped the daughter off. But nobody intervened. Nobody took the time to say, hey, are you okay? Because that was also the thing that confused me about the best friend.
Yeah.
Because it was like the best friend played along. Like, I was like, that was the thing that really threw me off about the ending.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. But the only issue I had with the film is the thing that I find the most interesting about the film, and it is what the first, until we find out that the daughter's dead, we're literally watching through
a mental break.
Her lens. It's through what she sees. So we don't even know for sure that the friend is playing along with this.
That's true.
So we're watching it through that lens of, we're watching it from her perspective. We're not watching it from, it's not third person omniscient perspective that we're watching it from. You know what I'm saying?
But even like
this is a first person perspective.
In the rewinding of things, once you find out that the daughter has passed, and they kind of chart the course from what the reality of it was.
Yeah, opening the car door and nobody's getting in.
Yeah, you see all of that, but the best friend was the only outlier that wasn't really explained. And so I think like that was the only part that might have been a little off about the plot. But I think and something that really just kind of was very intriguing to me and just really, really stood out was this idea of, and women say it all the time, and even men, like, I don't have anybody else. Like, it's just me. Like, I'm alone in this. The number of times that she said that. And number one, I find it...
That stood out to me too.
Yeah, I find it very curious when people say things like that, because number one, I think it's kind of impossible to say you have no one. Because if you had no one, that means you're literally living someplace.
But if you look at her life, she didn't have anybody.
Did she not have anyone, or did she set up situations, circumstances for her to isolate herself where she had no one?
That's actually valid. Because, and that kind of segues into my other thing, some people struggle with asking for help.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I do.
Yeah.
Like, I wholeheartedly struggle with asking for help.
Because even the best friend tried to give her the money.
Yes, no.
Like, you're literally, you have nothing, ma'am. Like, your stuff is about to get put outside and you're saying no? You're not in no position. And also giving away money. Like, Sinbad, I love you. And also. I ain't got nothing for you,
she
sir.
said, I ain't got it, but went back anyway and gave him something.
And these 2 dimes ain't gonna help you in whatever it is that you need. So, yeah, nah. I think like this idea of it's kind of like a martyrdom complex that women just in general kind of can sometimes take on. And this includes me, where we will set it up for ourselves to be the victim and then get upset about the fact that we're the victim.
That we're the victim. Yeah, no, I that's why I think I try to do my best with not going, well, this happened. So blaming other people for my circumstances, knowing that my decisions have put me in this place. My decisions there's a reason you're not living with. There's a reason why Janiyah was not living with her mom. And having to raise her daughter by herself. But your mom shows up to the hospital.
Yep.
Because it's a granddaughter.
Yep.
So you can't tell me that if you were about to be evicted, that your mother would not take in at the least, your child. You know, you can't tell me that if you called your mother, she would not give you the $40 for her grandchild. Whether she had to borrow it from somewhere, she had to get it from somewhere, she had to take it from another bill, she had to do whatever, because who knows the financial situation that her mom was in. But one thing I know about grandmothers, whether they got it or they don't, for their grandbaby,
they gonna make a way.
They gonna make a way.
And I mean, and even if, because there was a point where she said, you know, my mom and my family, like they're not there, like they aren't okay. And so that's not a situation, circumstance that I want to put my child in, because that's what Sherry Shepherd was asking about whenever she was asking Sherry to take her daughter.
Yeah.
And Sherry was like, well, what about your mom? Like, you don't have any other people that you would want her to go to? And she was like, no. Like, she can't do that. Like, she has to go X, Y, and Z place. And the fact that it took all of that for her to ask for help. And at this point, it's too late. The fact that you're even asking for help.
Yeah, because you're going to jail.
Yeah. Like you have.
Well, I think she probably would end up.
I mean, even if you're going to jail, and also you're advocating for a daughter that no longer exists.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking about it in real time as I was watching it, and she was asking her these questions before I knew. I was like, man, you know, it's kind of too late for this, homie.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, and not to do victim blaming or victim shaming, because that can also kind of that could be a place, and you get to a place of just judgment. But I think that from a standpoint or a perspective of someone who has been labeled as a strong Black woman, I have had to realize that a lot of times when folks are leaning on me so heavily, and in the moments where I don't feel like I have anybody else, that's not always other people's doing. That is sometimes squarely
what
me.
What I've done to myself.
Like those are sometimes circumstances and situations that I have created, either by not setting very clear boundaries or by not opening my mouth. Because I do have the support system where if I were to say something, folks would show up. But am I going to say something?
Well, I mean, I think that's where, remember the independent woman movement? You know, it was like INDEP, yelling it in the club. Yeah, we know you can spell.
Can you though?
Yeah, no, some can't. They didn't know. That's how you spell it.
They knew how to spell independent and Usher Raymond.
USHERRA. What?
The millennials, we got that. If we don't know how to spell nothing else, we can spell independent and Usher Raymond.
I think that particular era pushed forward more so than not the strength of the Black woman and being strong and holding her own and having to deal with things on her own and not needing a man and all of and overexerting that to the point where now you almost, in a sense, have to be emotionally detached like some men are to be able to cope with everything, because you don't want to be seen as weak.
Right.
You want to be seen as, I could do this on my own. I mean, some women wear it as a badge of honor. I did this on my own. I didn't get no help from nobody. But
not true.
Is that really true?
That's not true. There's no one out here that can say
I've done
authentically and 100%. I've done this by myself and have gotten no help. Like that's a lie.
both face line.
That is just not true. But I will also say that our generation is the first generation that women have been able to operate in a world where having a man wasn't what defined you. And you can make choices independently for yourself and thrive and, you know, live out and live in and operate in this world. So it's kind of, it's one of those things where in society, the pendulum swings so far to the left or so far to the right. We never figure out how to just kind of get this clean middle ground.
Yeah.
And I think that is what happened because my generation, our generation is the first full-fledged, full-blown generation that has been able to operate in many of the freedoms and rights of what it takes to be independent. And so, you know, whenever you have something new, you figure out something new, you want to exercise that muscle. And I think that's where a lot of that comes from. But I think that we also kind of forget the value and the beauty of being in relationship, being in partnership, having, you know, somebody else that you can lean and depend on and it not all be on you. So yeah, I think like that's one of the things that's often not talked about. And then within the Black community, there's just a whole other layer of it around
not going to therapy.
Yeah.
Not, you know, all of that being seen as weak
and society really forcing us to be independent because the Black man is just taken out of the home.
Like that was one of my questions. Is like, you know, what role does society play in pushing people to desperate acts? Like,
I think for the Black people, oh child, listen. The fact that you have operational Black people out here in this world is a true miracle.
Yeah.
It's a true, in the United States of America, Black people got a right to be crazy. Like, I mean, I'm not giving, go to therapy. Like, you have resources, you have all the things in order for you mentally to be sound and okay. And also, if there's a group of people where you're like, yeah, I got it. I understand.
I truly understand.
I
understand where you are and how you got here.
I get it.
Another thing that one of the themes that was within the film, invisible systems with visible consequences. You know what I'm saying? So like,
it's a mouthful there.
Like seriously, like DSS and housing, all of those things that are supposed to be there for people that don't have to be there for them, but it seems to be it's only for them for a certain few. It's not for everybody that's in need. And so if I think you can't get this service if you make this much money, but this much money does not sustain my life.
You got to be below the poverty line.
Yeah, you got to be like struggling. You know, I know somebody who she has been blessed. And I say blessed because her circumstance leads me to not, I would say, judge her, because I think our biases allow us to judge people
right.
that are taking, because there are some people that are taking advantage, and these are the people, the reason why I dislike people that are taking advantage of these invisible systems is because you're taking away from a person that might actually need to use these services, because you're doing it, you are knocking out somebody who does need it. But the person I'm talking about, she does need it. She has three kids, and one of her sons is chronically sick. So like, there's days where she can't go to work.
I was about to say working is probably
for like weeks and months at a time because she has to stay home.
Right.
COVID nearly took her out.
Right.
But she's been able to be on Section 8 the entire time. And so she's been blessed with, I think, the ability to be on Section 8 the entire time. She's been able to take advantage of these different things. But she knows from talking to her, she knows a lot of people who are worse off than she is that can't even get into a Section 8 or a housing or can't get to what's it called food SNAP, food stamps, or you know what I mean, because of some whatever with the single parent out here, the father ain't taking care of his responsibilities, paying his child support. But they're saying that you're getting it, so since you're getting it, it's this, that, and the third. Like, so you end up with, and I think that this is what it was for Janiyah. She ended up, all the other things around her had failed her because she did try to do it on her own. So I think those things let her down.
Oh, yes.
And so to the point where, so now, like I think it was something with the medication. She couldn't afford all the medication. So why was there nothing in place that could help her get lower cost on medication? Because it was the type of medication she couldn't get. She couldn't pay for the water, but they have utility things out there that would help you keep your electricity on so you can have hot water. I think the daughter went to bathe herself, and that's what caused that she had the seizure while bathing herself, and that's how she ended up. She fell, and that's how she died. So all of these things is real consequences for humans to make decisions on for people who need the help.
And to be honest, I think that systems, and specifically talking about systems in the United States of America, because that's the only system that I can really speak to for real. But systems in the United States of America and people of color, specifically Black people, it's oxymoronic. Like, it's the most baffling thing to me. Number one, we have a school system that was never meant for us, that we're trying to operate in and wondering why we're failing in it. And then we have systems where that were created and designed under the guise of, I'm going to help you in this situation so that you can get on your feet and do whatever. But what it really does is keep you down.
100%. Because you can't, to stay on it, to get on your feet, you can't get on your feet. If you get on your feet, you can't stay on it.
Exactly. So you can't get to a place where I'm able to stabilize, because once I get to a place where I'm approaching stabilization, you're going to snatch it. What I need that's going to help me to get stabilized. So it's just this cyclical thing of this country has created things for us that are just designed for our people to fail. And I was actually having this conversation earlier today. And I was like, it's such a heartbreaking and heart-wrenching thing to watch folks actually want more, want better, try, and can't make headway. But what society does is that we highlight people that have made it. Even us sitting on this podcast right now, like, my mom and my parents, like, where they come from, it wouldn't indicate that I would be who I am today.
Yeah.
Same. Same 100%. For you. And so folks can look at us and it's like, oh, they're a model, so that means that anybody can do it. And this whole idea of pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, that crap is a lie. Like, the amount of a support system that if one thing had been different, just one small thing had been different.
Life is different.
My life, my trajectory could have been the same as Janiyah.
Yep. I think my friend, Poet King, he has a poem called "Hey brother, can you buy me some fries?" And he basically the poem is this story about a guy he walks into as he's going into a McDonald's, and this guy outside ask him, "Can you buy him some fries?" He says, "Yeah, sure, man. Come on in. I want to buy you some fries. I'll buy you a whole meal." So while he's waiting on the food, the guy starts to dance and he's happy and everything. And at the end, I think the final 2 lines in the poem is, I realized that everybody is only $5 away from saying, hey, brother, can you buy me some fries? The line is so
good.
It's so right. It's just like I could be on top, and because of some decision or whatever I have made just slightly differently could have me a person standing on the side of the road with a piece of cardboard trying to get somebody to give me some money. And I think that.
And also it goes back to the point around the mind being such a fragile thing and us living in this world of, oh, that could never be me. Like, and we've seen mental health up close and personal to know, or mental health struggles up close and personal to know that it don't take much.
My brother's bipolar, and dealing with him, because I've always said this, my brother is the single most intelligent person I've ever met in my entire life. And he was fine until 2002. And that's when whatever happened caused him to be bipolar. And since then, he just has not been right.
Right.
Ever. When he's on his meds, very productive. The issue is, doesn't always take his meds. And in his state of mind, there's nothing wrong with him. But he doesn't see the mental anguish that it puts on my mom, that it puts on my dad, that it puts on my sister, puts on my little brother, puts on me. Like, I think he was missing a month or two ago. Why is everybody calling me in South Carolina to find him in Jersey? But I say that to say he made some decisions that put him in the circumstance and in the place where he had, because basically somebody laced some weed he had, and because they wanted to rob him. And after that point, that was the break, caused him to have a chemical imbalance in his brain, which caused him to be bipolar. So we can say whatever we want to say, but if you make a different decision on that day alone,
just one.
On that day alone, you decide, I'm not going over here to smoke with people I don't know.
And it's not even a string of decisions.
No, it's just one. I'm telling you, we all $5 away from saying, hey, brother, can you buy me some fries? And just like with her, with Janiyah, one thing led to another, and everything just kept piling upon each other.
Right.
And the thing I would have liked to have seen is, well, why can't she call on her mom? Why does she feel she can't call on her mom? I would like to see a little bit more of the backstory there.
Right.
Well, how did she end up where this grocery store, she doesn't even have a first check yet from this grocery store? I would have liked to have seen that, but I guess that's a part of what makes the movie, slightly good to me.
Yeah. And it also allows you to kind of put yourself, it could be anybody, right? Because you don't know the backstory. It could be my backstory. It could be your back. It could be anybody's backstory that leads to this place, this position. I think like that's the overall theme and point and purpose of it, is to kind of challenge us in our thinking and even in our judgment of people when they're experiencing the things that they are experiencing and going through the things that they're going through. But given just the right circumstances, it could also be you. What your trigger is not necessarily my trigger.
Yeah.
And what the circumstances are that would land me there might not be your circumstances. But at the end of the day, everybody has something. Like whatever that weakness is, or whatever that, that blind spot or that gap in understanding of thinking. I listen to a pastor all the time, and he said, he quotes all the time, ignorance is expensive. It's expensive as crap to be dumb. Like, it really is expensive. I mean, if we think about it, this up here is our greatest currency. And, we got some folks out here that are willfully ignorant. And then, there are those folks that just don't know what they don't know. And so it's like, what category do you find yourself in? And how is it that we create a world where folks can thrive if that's what they choose to do. Yeah. Instead of having so many different things in play that's going to pick you up and then put you down.
Put you
Pick you
down.
up and then put you down.
Wow. Good.
That's straw, y'all.
I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah,
Or a good watch. It was an entertaining watch.
it was.
I did think Tyler Perry.
It kept my attention.
It kept my attention. I only watched it once. I don't think it's a multiple watch, but
Yeah, I fell asleep the second time.
Yeah,
And I think knowing the end, like you said earlier, knowing the end.
I can't never
Yeah,
rewatch
you
it.
can't watch it the same anymore.
I can't, because I watched it and was getting angry for her. And then I felt at the end, I was like, wait, hold on, that child,
You doing all this for a kid
that ain't child.
that's unalived.
That's unalived. I mean, I get it, but come on now.
I mean, but that's the thing though. Like, it's straw. Like
Yeah.
that's why we are all five straws away
It's 5 straws away from the last one.
to use our friends.
Paul King.
Yeah, we only 5 straws away.
So it did. I didn't find it to be so emotional that I wanted to tear up. But there have been some movies that I would not admit to on thing that it did.
Oh, really? I just want to know one.
What for you? What movie made you?
I'm trying to think of a movie that I
Or
watched
maybe a
recently.
scene from a movie. Because I was a guest on the Scumbag Lounge podcast. Episode comes out. Will be actually the same day this episode will come out, and on all podcast platforms. And
It
what?
wasn't even a show. You know, it wasn't even a movie. It was a show.
What?
That made me tear up, and that was what's the show that's out now? That's all the rave.
Abbott Elementary.
No, what about Abbott Elementary about to make somebody tear up? No, we talked about this a little bit, and you were talking about how you didn't like the show. Well, you didn't say you didn't like the show. Forever made me tear up.
What part of Forever made you tear up?
What do you mean? Are we about to do another spoiler?
We'll do Forever on the next episode. I just
okay.
need to know what part of Forever.
The last episode, like
What?
they go there. You're about to make us spoil things.
All right. Now we'll tap into the next episode. Next episode,
deep,
we're talking Forever.
Yes, and
So I'm gonna go back and rewatch.
Okay, I've already rewatched it several times.
Yeah,
so I'm not doing that. But just know, like, it's deeper than it. It kind of touched me because I related to it in a lot of ways.
I related to it too in a lot of ways, but it did not make me go, "Yo, I'm a tear up." Now,
it did for me.
Pursuit of Happyness. Have you ever seen it?
Did I tear up on Pursuit of Happyness? You know, I'm a recent crier over movies.
The scene where, and as a father, it's what got to me.
Okay.
Where
when they had to sleep
in
outside.
when they had to sleep
in their bathroom. In the train station.
And he was trying to keep the door closed.
Mm.
Let me tell you something.
Now that was heart wrenching.
Took your boy out.
That was one.
Took your boy out.
I don't know if I cried, but I can understand why.
That thing had me. I was like,
that lip started.
And you start looking at the ceiling, like
trying to hold that thing in.
I ain't even going. What I'm not gonna do. What you not gonna do to me, Will Smith, is have me in here with these damn tears.
And the baby's so innocent.
Yeah, he don't know nothing. He
is so innocent.
And
don't even know he in danger.
It was just the protectiveness of the father, what he was trying to do, the fact that he had nothing. The mother had his wife, no girlfriend, had left him, and just the circumstance, the same thing.
And did everything he could to continue to protect his child's innocence.
His child. Yeah, and it's just, and he always showed up for his son.
Always.
No matter how bad stuff was.
You know, one thing I was trying to figure out though, how did son continue to be able to go to daycare? You ain't had no money.
You ain't never seen him when the people were trying to talk to him when he pick him up.
Oh yeah.
Hey sir, you know, he grab it, walk right out the door. Will Smith walking quick with that little machine and holding that boy hand.
That still ain't realistic. That still is not realistic, but okay.
Well, not.
Gotcha.
He would drop the boy off and not go in. And then when he came to pick him up, he was just grabbing by the door. And by the time they turned around to find him, he was out.
Still ain't realistic, but we'll go with it.
No. I don't think it is either. But
yes, that was definitely
that
was a heart wrenching one. But as of a recent, because I was a thug when it came to movies. Like crying is a recent development for me.
No,
while watching things.
I have to like it. It literally has to
Even
be
if it hit my heart.
something because like I didn't feel emotionally attached in Straw. So like,
I wouldn't say I wasn't emotionally attached. I was emotionally attached, but I think that I was also looking at it from an analytical standpoint.
That's my problem with watching movies. A lot of times, is my English brain takes over.
Yeah, and especially with movies.
And it's a lot of analytical. I'll be analyzing characters and
especially movies like that where I feel like you are telling a story about a I don't know.
A particular demographic of women.
Yeah, and I never could just kind of watch it and just kind of let my emotions lead me in watching it, which is interesting because Forever, I could.
Well, because I think that, like you said, I think that you could, with Forever, you saw yourself in her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really didn't see myself because I was really over here like, that my straw would have broke a long time ago if I had to go through all that stuff.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I wouldn't have made it out of school. I tell you, like we had that
your
movie,
mental break would have been in the school.
That movie would have been one scene. The whole day would have been one scene. Me at the school all day waiting on lunch. That would have been the movie.
Straw, first of all, I would have waited on lunch though. I would have met her at the door.
No, I've been waiting on lunch. No, because I'm waiting for you to not allow my baby to have what everybody else. I'm waiting on it.
I'm not waiting on nothing. If I'm confronting you at this threshold. As soon as I walk in this door, while you standing here greeting the rest of the kids.
No, I get that.
Come here, sis.
No, but I
got questions and they need answers.
See, I'm just a little bit more petty. Like I need questions. But I want to be in there when you do it. I know you're not gonna do it. As a matter of fact, you give me $40. I'd have came in here.
We probably would have been swinging outside. Like,
if I'd have got that gun, I wouldn't have went to the bank. I'd have went to the school.
No, I'd have been like, I need for you to tell me word for word what you said to my child. Like out of your, and I want you to say it to me like you said it to her. Like reenact the scene, run the playback, run the tape. Because I just can't fathom the fact that this is what you did. So. Help me to understand. Paint the picture for me.
Yeah, it would have been a real short. It'd have been a real short movie if it was me. It wouldn't have.
That's where the mental break would have.
Oh yeah.
The flip would have switched there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. But always a pleasure being there for you guys. Like I said, next episode we're gonna talk forever.
We're gonna talk forever.
For sure, we're gonna talk forever.
Which will be a really good thing that the men will get to do their. Since we're gonna talk forever. That's a good one.
We'll talk forever. Fraronda, tell the people where they can find you if they can.
Yusuf, why you do this? You know good and well I'm not about to tell nobody where to find me because even if you found me, it's not gonna do you no good.
Because you don't post nothing.
Find me on this podcast. Come back next time.
All right, and you can find me with whatever pops up wherever it is up here. Until the next time, y'all, it's Yusuf in the building with
Fraronda.
And we're out. Peace.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Relationship Status. Remember, you can catch us on relationshipstatuspodcast.com, iTunes, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, Nobody Grinds Like Us, and anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you would like to join the conversation or leave us a dear nick, email us at relstatpodcast@gmail.com or call us at 843-310-8637. Follow us on Facebook at Relationship Status Podcast, on Instagram and Twitter at RELSTAT Podcast. And don't forget to comment, share, 5-star rate, subscribe, and review.